Real Talk disclaimer. The information provided by the host on this platform is for education and awareness purposes only. All information provided on this platform is provided in good faith. We make no representation or warranty of any kind, express or implied, regarding the accuracy, validity, and reliability of information shared by the host or show guests. The views and opinions of guests on the show do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of the host of Real Talk. Under no circumstances do the host, show guests, sponsors, or affiliates assume responsibility for the actions of any viewer.
Our greatest glory is rising when we fall. So don't be discouraged, don't you be appalled. It's okay if you fall and maybe even lose your spark. Just make sure in the end you rise from the dark. It's time to rise up, time to work, and time to chase your dreams. The Lord has the final say, so your soul is redeemed. This message is to help you with your self-esteem, as faith will take you places that we have never seen.
Well, welcome to Real Talk. Glad to have all of you to join us on tonight. It's been a couple of weeks, I believe, since we have had a conversation with you. But we are here. We are here. It seems like a couple of weeks at least. But we missed you just as much as you have missed us. That's right. We're going to try something new tonight, and we'll share that with you in just a few minutes. But we are glad to have you to join us on tonight. There are several ways that you can join us. You can join us on Facebook Live, Z Andre Huff page, Real Talk page with Pastor Z and Bishop T. That's on Facebook Live and the Facebook page. You can go to our YouTube channel, like and subscribe. We want you to like also on Facebook and share. We're here. We also have a Twitter page. That's right. We have a Twitter page. Hello, Bishop T. How are you?
I'm well. How are you? It might be my volume.
What's going on?
I can barely hear you.
Really?
Try now. Like you sound far away.
Do you have your volume up?
Yeah.
Okay. How about now? How do I sound?
Come again.
Hello? How do I sound?
I'll just turn it all the way up. See, let me see now.
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you.
Make sure my audio. Yeah. We're going strong over here.
Okay.
Must be on your end.
I'm good. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Hello, Miss Katrina Davis. How are you? Thank you for joining us, Miss Doris Payne. Glad to have you on. Miss Tara Margaret Townsend. Hello. Patrice Maxwell said, we can hear him loud and clear. It's her. It's her. She getting old. What's going on, Patrice? What's happening? All right. Mr. Charles Hawkins, what's going on? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Tonight, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to run the number across. We're going to try to see if we can allow our viewers to call into the show. Now, when you call into the show, you need to turn your volume down on your computer or wherever you're watching the show so it won't be an echo. But we're going to provide a number for you to call in to the show in just a few minutes or once we get into the topic. And we want to stay on topic, okay? So if you're calling in, call in about the topic that we are discussing on tonight, okay? All right? Patrice said, great, awesome. I've been waiting on this. All right. So we look forward to hearing from
You are
you.
banned from calling in.
No, she's not. So we want to kind of just dive in. We don't know if we're going to have any tea tonight. Haven't been able to reach Tom Tom, but hopefully that she will be able to come on tonight. She has a very serious job, and sometimes she can't get away to do so. So just this past Tuesday, we had our school board meeting at the central office. We had a very nice attendance, a mixed crowd, and we had a large attendance, and we're grateful for that. We're grateful for that, for all of you coming out to be interested in education and what's going on in our Gaston school system. There was some things that was done in that meeting um, that the board voted on. One thing that we voted on is that the principal at Gaston City High School will not return on next year. So he's being replaced at Gaston City High School. So there's going to be a position for someone to hopefully take and help thrive our students where we need them to thrive towards. We also it was time for our superintendent's contract to either be renewed or not. There was a motion that was made to not renew the superintendent's contract, but there was not a second. So I know that left a lot of people confused about what happened because we moved on, and I apologize that was not shared with the audience. I did notice when the judge began to speak right after that there was somewhat, it wasn't a commotion, but it was some people talking, and I didn't think to um I couldn't figure out what was the noise about, but I did hear some people kind of talking while he was talking. He was sharing some story. Um but had I thought about that the people didn't understand what just took place, I would have probably asked the judge to share that information. So, with nothing taking place or no action taking place because the motion failed, um, the superintendent's job rolled over for 12 months. So, come March of next year, we'll be back at the same place to discuss what we're going to do concerning the superintendent's contract. And so I just want to make people know he did get 12 additional months to remain as superintendent. And so just want to clear it up for those that was there and those that have didn't know what was going to take place because that motion died for the lack of not receiving a second on the motion. Now, I know a lot of people probably feel some kind of way about Mr. Haney. He is a fellow board member, and here's what I know about being elected by your constituents. I can't say it was personal. I can't say that he's prejudiced. But I will say this: we are the voice of the people that elect us. And if I'm the voice for District 3 and they want me to vote for uh, uh, a person or a position, and his constituents desire him to vote against um, a position or a person, he's doing only what the people that elected him has asked him to do. So I have no issue because all I have is one vote, and all he has is one vote, and everyone on the board, all they have is one vote. And I would expect, and I think proper politics is to be the voice of the people that elect you. Um, there are sometimes I may personally feel one way, but because uh, politics is not a place for your personal agenda, then you need to listen to your people and meet with your people, discuss things with your people, and to make sure that when you stand for your particular district, that you represent them because you are their voice. And so that's where I find myself with that. Um, Patrice Maxwell said, please talk about our third grade ACE ACAP testing for next year. This is very important. It's a very important test. I'm going to get you to call in, Patrice Maxwell, and I'm going to let you kind of share that with us in just a minute, okay? Um, so, Bishop, what are your thoughts? I saw you there in attendance, at least until we went into executive session, and then I know you had another engagement to uh, another place to be, and so uh, you being there, I think that was your first board meeting attending as a councilwoman.
Right.
Just share how you thought the crowd was and how
Well,
things went.
let me say this from the beginning. There is a lot going on in the city. And my purpose for being there was we had talked a month or so ago, and you and I try to support each other with what we got going on, number one, and then number two, to just show my support as a council person, as councilwoman of District 1, with our school system. So I really wasn't aware that some things were gonna come up by my being my with my attendance. But as far if you want me to address all the way across the board, I thought that there was a massive presentation or representation of those who were in support of the the Superintendent Reddick. um I don't know if there were opposers, so I thought that the crowd was very, for the time that I was there, I thought that they were very uh self-contained, as far as there was no outburst while I was there or anything like that. So I thought it was, I thought that the attendance was good, because like you said, that was my first board meeting as a council person. So by the time that I left, um you all were in
Executive
executive
session.
session. So so I didn't get any of that, but I thought that it was a well attended board meeting, and I thought that everybody conducted themselves well for the time that I was there. That, like I say, there's a lot going on, so we were having the kickoff, and the team that's doing the comprehensive plan and all of that was at the venue, was the reason that we left. And I will say this, as far as, and I know there's been a little chatter this week, but I think that it's good. I think that it's good when we can show our support But I'll tell you what I'd like to see, just from some things that have taken place in the last couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. Just some things that I think have taken place. Um, and I will say this, as you know, there are people who attend council meeting on a regular basis. There are people who said to me and said to other council persons that they were going to support. We need that support. And when I say we, I'm not saying a particular race needs that support. First, let me address the school board, the council members, the mayor. Whether it's somebody we voted for or did not vote for, our person won or did not win. In order for us to be successful, we now have to work together. And so wherever we can lend that support, that's what we should do. So I encourage not just people, and I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of it. I don't have my nieces and nephews have graduated or either in other systems. And so, but whether we have kids or not, we need to attend those meetings. We
Yeah.
need to attend council meetings. And we need to do that so that we are informed. And I know, that sometimes they're not the easiest meetings to attend. And I know they're live. I know the council meeting is live on Facebook, and it comes live on Channel 99. But it's good for us to be informed. It's just good for us to know what's going on. I think that's a good thing for us to know what's going on. Excuse me, and to really be involved. So I don't have a negative word to say with respect to the people who were there. Um, but I do think collectively, whoever we are, it's good to be represented and to be there for support as well as to be informed. You don't have to get secondhand information. You can get firsthand information. And then you've got board members, you've got council members, you've got commissioners that are not above, you calling and you asking. I don't think, as an elected official, I have people who miss council meeting and they will call and ask, I heard this. Is this the way this was? Or I'm concerned about this. That's what we're there for. That's what
Yeah.
I'm there for District 1. And I've had people call in District 1 as well as out of District 1. So I'm saying that to say, it's good. It's good that the crowd was there. And I think it's something that, I know everybody won't make it to every council meeting, every board meeting, every whatever meeting. There's a lot. Listen, this city has gone from being asleep to like wide awake.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it is. I mean, and I have an event tonight that I'm gonna try to get to, if with because some of the council members are supporting, but we are awake, and
Yeah.
so by us being awake, there's something going on. Um,
And sometimes it takes things to wake us.
that's right. It
And,
may
and, let, and
be
let me
to
say
wake
this,
us
and
up.
let me say this because I have no ill feelings and I towards anyone. And I want to say that we had media there, we had Gas and Times there, we had WMGJ Radio, and let me say this: I can contribute a lot of the crowd being there because of the announcement that got out concerning what was going to take place at the board meeting, which was a good thing. Um, and people wanted to come out and see what was being said and what was being done. So you had Mr. Fred Zachary with inspection there. You had Mr. Joseph Cole there. You had Mr. David Lawson. They run that program there at WMGJ Radio. The word got out. and the people was informed. And I appreciate all of you all for coming out. And again, just like we said when we met at Quality of Life concerning the Carver situation, let's not wait till something happens for us to want to get involved. What is it that you say we need to be proactive instead of
Proactive
reactive? Yeah,
and not reactive, you
right,
know.
right,
And I know that even when the meeting was held with respect to uh the group that was there with Carver, and I think if I'm not mistaken, I heard Mr. Zachary say that they're going to be doing some things
right. Got
to
some things coming up.
strengthen. And see,
Right,
I think that that's the thing. I think that that's the good point that we understand to strengthen. You know, we can't wait until things happen, or and I'm not speaking in reference to that because I have my opinion about that whole situation because I know what the issue was, but
right,
I'm speaking to the fact that whether we have to be in a position when we're proactive that when something happens we're already established,
right,
regardless to who we are. Just think our city. If there's a catastrophic event that takes place, we don't need a government that's getting ready. We don't need a plan to be put in place when something happens. You want to know that whatever takes place, there that we're proactive, we already know what's going to happen. We already know how to respond when there's a tornado, when there is a snowstorm. You don't want anybody getting ready. That's right. Thank you, Francis. Stay ready. And so, you can't mobilize yourself when something happens. So we need to just make sure. And I think I heard him say that they were going to do some things
right.
to
To strengthen the community.
strengthen the community.
Right.
And
But the community, the idea is awesome, but it's like a vision. It's just a vision unless you put legs on it. Unless the people take the idea, join the idea, and actually involve themselves in it as the idea that he has for the community, it's just going to be. And I think that's the problem that we have is that we have great ideas, but they stop right there. I was talking to some guys most recently. We was all sitting around the table talking, and every time we meet up, and we would meet up once a week. They got these ideas about being entrepreneurs and starting their own business, and we come together and get putting the business together. And I finally had to tell them, you know what? If you want to do something, you can't tell them nobody. Just do it, and before you know it, it's done, and people know that you got something going on. I said because if you talk about it every week, somebody gonna talk you out of it. And so that's some of the things that we have to get to the point where if we're going to be a community and we're gonna do things, no one is going to love us the way we want to be loved until we first love ourselves. Let's talk about for a few minutes accountability, Bishop. Let's talk about accountability for a few minutes, and then I know you have an announcement to read, and then we're going to open up the phone lines to get people that are joining in with us. We got about 41 that I can see on right now. Uh, and so we want you to kind of join in with us. When a person is put in a position, whether it's a elected official, and I know you hear people talk about, uh, people that are black or brown people that are in position. We want people to have these positions. But once they get these positions, what do we do then? Do we hold them accountable? Do we walk away until you hear that that person may not be in that position for the next 5 years? They was there for 5 years or more, or 4 years. Do you walk away and then you come to their defense because of their color, without knowing if they actually provided the services they should have provided or did the job they should have done. We just want them to be in those positions because of their race or because they're doing a great job. If you're going to come to someone's defense, know why you're at their defense. Let it not just be about our color. I'm saying that because I feel that when Martin Luther King made the statement that one day I have a dream that one day that we will not be uh, what was it about the color of the skin, but about the content of our character.
The content of our character
Right, that we will not be judged
judged by the
by the
content of
color
our
of our
character.
skin, but by the content of our
Right.
character. Because think about it. When you had Herschel Walker running against Woodruff, you didn't want Herschel Walker in there. I know I didn't. I know I don't like Clarence Thomas. He don't represent me well. Herman Cain, I didn't care for Herman Cain. There's a lot of people that look like us, but they don't operate like us. So don't just be caught up in the color of an individual, but make sure you know why you defending individuals and holding them accountable. Because if I put somebody in place, I don't want to be treated like the previous person that that was in place treated me. I'm expecting you to treat me a little better than I was being treated. And if the treatment is the same, then what we talking about?
Well, let me go back to to the first part of your statement. Yes, I believe whether regardless uh of the ethnic group that you belong to, I believe that we need to hold our elected officials accountable. And I say that because this is a new journey for me. It's a new journey for me. I've been city council for a little over 4 months now. But every person that I would hope that puts themselves into a race and you win, you understand the people have elected you and you are accountable. You should be held accountable. You hold an office that's at a public office where you've been elected by the people. So I think that people should be held accountable regardless to whether they are black, white, Asian, or whatever, Indian, whatever. We should be held accountable, number one. Um, and then as it relates to black people, we may want a black person in that position. And sometimes we do. We get the black person in the position and we walk away. Two things. We don't sometimes hold them accountable, and neither do we give them our support. We get them in the office and then we walk away. We don't hold them accountable. And that's not just, I'm talking about us now.
Right.
That's not just from a standpoint of holding them accountable to make sure that they do the job and do the job correctly, but make sure that we give them the support
Right.
to do the job
Right.
and do the job well
Right.
and successfully. So we have to come up. One of the things that I realized after Barack Obama ran his second term, there were a lot of people who in the African American community said Barack didn't do anything to help black folks. Barack didn't do anything to help black and brown folks. He didn't do anything to this. Okay, well, the reality of it is that he was elected, but 2 years later, did we show up and vote for those Senate and those Congress seats? So it wasn't so much as you have to look at, okay, we have a Democratic president, but then the House and the Senate I think it was both went to Republican control. So we have to see things through. We have to follow through and we have to see things through. We have to give that support. We have to give that support. And so, and I want to just throw this in here. I want to throw this in here while we are talking. District 1 had their first meeting, I want to say a week ago, 2 weeks ago. The support to me was overwhelming. The people came out. Listen, when you work for the public and you represent the public, you cannot get upset because you're asked a question.
Right.
You know, and I don't know what's ahead, Reverend Pastor Z. I'm praying too. I don't know what's ahead. But we have to, thank you, we didn't. Who was that?
That's Mr. Williams. He's on the school board in Birmingham.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you,
That's my
Mr.
good friend, yeah.
We didn't support. And so we have to do that. But I cannot, you to me, and my mama said it to me, and my cousin who's on here telling us something, Miss Maxwell, you gotta have tough skin. You cannot allow thank you, George. I can't stand up there and be sensitive, you know. I try to return calls. I try to get things in. I think the city is doing a magnificent job of responding because of the system that our mayor has put in. Listen, we can either all swim together or we can sink together. What we have to realize, there are some things that take place.
Oh, you sound like you're in the bowl again.
That
sound like you're in the bowl.
Forget it. Just forget it. I ain't got nothing else to say. Go on. I ain't got nothing.
Like you finna go to the bowl again. Better head down.
I ain't gonna do what you gonna do. If you wanted me to hush, you just should have said, okay.
No, you start sounding like something. You start the voice.
But my point is that people should be able to ask questions. If they have some concerns, they should be able to bring those concerns.
Yeah, we shouldn't be offended.
And be offended about it. And then people have opinions.
That's right.
And and a lot of times, as a pastor, you have to stand there sometime, take what's being said, and respond in a complete different way than you feel.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, everybody got to work together for the common good of it. So, and George said it. District 1's meeting, and there may have been some people who didn't get everything that they need, but we're going to keep working it. We're going to try to do those things to strengthen our district to make
So you sound like
you
felt your help.
Who is
Jocelyn?
Now do you go?
Hey, calm down now. I see you ready to you.
You know what? I'm gonna call you when the show is over.
You okay?
I see you trying to show out.
No.
But anyway, I just feel that way, and I really don't know. A year from now, and then I'm gonna tell you something. I am a woman of faith. I am a woman of faith. He keep telling, I am a woman of faith, and I know that on this journey, and I know Pastor Steve and I have talked about it. You got to pray. Because your mouth, you might want to say something else. You done pastored. I pastored for a long time too. Sometimes you just want somebody else rise up in you. Happy birthday, Jocelyn.
Happy birthday, Jocelyn. Hey, listen, Patrice, I sent you a number. I want you to dial in right quick and tell us about the event that's coming up that's very important. Dial in right quick.
There's new laws for our third.
We're going to try this dial in thing, okay, y'all?
And And while she's dialing in, here is another example. Here is another example. There are things that we need to work on for common good. That's right. Own up to your mistakes and take ownership. Responsibility. Just
Okay, Patrice, what you doing? You dialing in?
is she even on here?
Yeah, she on here. You know, she don't. Here she go. All right. Hey, Patrice, can you hear Bishop?
I don't hear her. Can you hear?
Patrice, you there? Hold on a second. Did she hang up? Patrice, call back. Come on now. Call back.
It's still ringing.
No, it's not.
Oh, that's a late.
We're trying something new, y'all.
We trying something new, y'all.
Did you hear her say this is Patrice? You didn't hear nothing? Patrice, would you please dial the number again?
No, sir, I didn't hear anything. Ooh, it's like it's been a long day. What? Text it to me.
She got the number. What you gonna do? Call in? I'm looking at you.
Yeah, I'm gonna call in and see if you can hear me.
Okay, here we go. Let's try.
Is that her?
Yeah. Hey, Patrice. Can you hear
I
Bishop?
can't hear.
Bishop, you can't hear her?
Uh-uh. Can anybody else hear?
Can anybody else hear Patrice talking?
We can't hear.
They say they can't hear you. Hold on a second. Okay, hold on. Let me put my mic down. All right, now say something. I can hear you, but they say they can't hear you.
Send do a we cannot do a link for your phone.
Okay, they can't hear you. Let me try something else. I'm gonna send you something, okay? And you're gonna come on. Hold on.
I was going to say you probably just need to send a link for your phone and put your phone in the show.
Okay, hold on a second. I don't know how I could do that. Let's see. Let's see if Patrice will come on. We thought we was gonna be able to get the according to what I found out, I thought you could do it that way, but apparently
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Has he been on before?
he has.
Okay, good. Thank you for being here tonight.
Can you bring her on like you do the lady with the T? Yes, I'm trying to now.
Text me your number. Text me that Google number.
Okay.
Can you hear us,
Patrice,
me?
we can't see you. There we can. Now we can see you.
Because you know you on the screen now.
Yeah, I see you on. I see myself. Good evening.
Okay.
He's just saying don't be doing nothing. We had somebody on here trying to take the shirt off one time.
Oh God. Oh God, my people.
You know what you doing.
Okay, well, I'm gonna start by saying good evening. Thank you, Pastor Z and Bishop T, for letting me come on for just a split second. I appreciate you, Pastor Z, for serving on the board, and I appreciate you, Bishop T, for being my council person. You all are doing an awesome job, and I thank you all. But I've come on today to just encourage. I saw a couple of my parents on here from Thompson.
Hey, can you turn your light on? Everybody want to see you.
No. I'm not turning lights on now. Just do this, please. Okay,
Listen,
so y'all should tell me all that. I would have had my hair together. But anyway, this is important. I need for everyone to understand next week we'll be taking an important test in the Gaston City school system. All schools in this state will be taking it, but we're concerned about Gaston City because we're taking the ACAP testing. If anybody's been listening, the Literacy Act is something that we are really pushing in our school systems, and that this is an important test. I understand us getting behind some other things that's going on in the school system, but we've got to encourage our students to do the best they can in school and on these tests. Next week, we'll be taking an ACAP test, and some things we need for parents to help us with is make sure this child is there every day, on time. Come so they can eat breakfast. Be well rested. We have taught these students, but if the parents don't do that part to help them get there, we can't see what they've learned. It's important that we take this test serious and that parents do their part. So the one thing you can do is make sure your child goes to bed on time next week. Get to school on time. Come, we have prepared breakfast. Make sure they're there on time. And just come prepared. Motivate your child to do the best they can. Learning starts at home. Don't wait till they get to school for the teachers to teach them. Learning starts at home. So these are some important tips that I just want to share tonight with our listeners. That is not about Thompson doing well, you're Brown, Stripling, Adams. It's about the students of Gaston City doing well on this test. Because we're one school system and we're trying to make our school system the best. We can do all we can in City Hall, the Gaston City Board of Education do all they can, but until we as parents make sure that our kids are getting the best education. This starts next week with this test. This test will be captured and it will be all over the state of Alabama, our results. So we want Gaston City to be at the top. We have prepared our students, all schools have prepared their students. Now it's time for us to sit back and let our work speak for itself. And the only way we can do that, get our school students on time to school, let them be prepared, encourage them, get them to sleep at night, and just do your part for next week. I appreciate you all letting me have this moment to just encourage our parents, grandparents, aunts, and uncles to do your best next week on this test.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Patrice, because I know this is the third graders ACAP test.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it something coming down where if our third graders is not able to perform at a certain standard, that they're going to start retaining them?
Yes, sir. Our present first graders now, that's our accountability grade that we're going to look at when they get to third grade. So in 2 years, we're going to be looking at those first graders. If they cannot pass this test, they have to attend summer school. After they attend summer school, they will be given another supplemental test. If they do not pass that supplemental test, they will be retained in third grade.
Now, this is not a Miss Maxwell decision.
No, this is a state decision.
Okay.
This
So,
is not even a gas.
because you have people out there picketing and want to meet with you, and this is not Miss Maxwell. So don't be calling the board members talking about
Please
get rid of
don't.
Miss Maxwell. That has nothing to do. She just enforcing what the state is actually mandating.
And this is something I want Mr. Pastor Z and Bishop T. We really need to have a meeting. We need to have a committee meeting about this. Our parents need to be informed about this decision that has come down, not from Gaston City, from the state level. This is something that's state level. And it's called the Literacy Act, and it's going to be enforced.
Right.
Teachers right now are working on this Literacy Act every day with our students. We are needing parents to understand this is not a decision that's going to be made. I don't care what kind of grade your child has.
Right.
If they cannot pass this test, they will not go on. Now, we do have things in place. We have a portfolio in place. We also have some summer school in place. We could take a supplemental test. But if they cannot pass those things, they will be retained in third grade.
When does this go in effect?
Okay, the Literacy Act is in effect right now, but when we start retaining them, it's going to be our kids that's in first grade right now. So in 2025, we're going to start retaining kids in the third grade.
And let me say
I don't want us to wait until 2025 to do something.
Right.
So
right.
if we can, I heard that Mr. Zachary wanted to meet. These are some important things that's going to affect our students from now on that we need to get out in the community.
Miss Maxwell, let me ask you this while you're at this point, because I know I've spoken with the principal of the elementary school in my district, Miss Smitherman. Mm-hmm. Is there something that is there, how do I want to ask this? Is there a way that the principals maybe could come together and then I know for me and Pastor Huff, if I think we could help as far as having a meeting to bring the community together, but maybe especially those schools where we know we need to really get, the community has got to get behind the principal and the children and the teachers. Is there something that maybe you all could formulate and then kind of get it to us, and then we work? Because Epiphany, she said, what can we do as community members to help? And I think that there would be some people who would be willing to. Is that something that maybe you could get the other principals together that need the help, want the help, and we could get the community involved? I know Pastor Huff and myself don't mind doing whatever. And let me just say this while we're at this point too. I think it's good. You happen to be on tonight and we were able to bring you on. This platform is open to teachers who are principals. Let's say that much. Because the platform is open as well to the superintendent. So it would be good if you all would take advantage when you need to use Real Talk as a way of platform or way of getting that information.
I think it would be very helpful if we did have a community actual meeting face to face and let parents come and actually see what the Literacy Act, because the Literacy Act is a lot to it, but we need them to actually see and ask questions. How do I prepare my child for the Literacy Act? How do I prepare them for ACAP? ACAP is given to 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th elementary, and then we do middle and high. But it's very important that they take this test serious in each grade. 3rd grade is the grade. We have something else that's coming down the pipeline. Next year is the Numeracy Act, where in 4th and 5th grade, if they can't pass that test, they can be retained. And that has something to do with math. So it's very important that we inform people and our communities of what's in place for our students. Not Gaston City's choice, a statewide choice.
Right. And let me say this, cause Miss Tiller, who is the principal at Emma Sampson High School, is really explaining that a lot of time your ACAP scores
Yes.
are lowered because of the overall truancy attendance.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem that I've listen. I've been seeing that
Mm-hmm.
ever since I've been involved with the school board. That is so many children. I mean, the first week of school, they're missing school. How? Parents, guardians, grandparents, you need to get your children to school. Make them go to school. That should not be an option. And you need to know that they're in school. No way do your child get suspended and you didn't know that your child or the police come knocking on your door because they still have truancy courts in some places. They still have truancy courts. And parents can actually go to jail for not having their kids in school. Don't think that law don't exist, because it does. And the thing is, our children and stuff are getting in trouble. And they haven't been in school for 2 weeks. And then you wait till you get a report card, then you want to raise hell like you don't understand, because you haven't been involved, you haven't been checking on them and making sure they're doing what they need to do, talking to the teachers to make sure they're on track. People graduate but wasn't on track to go to college.
That's right.
They still don't have everything that they have. They made it through the 12th grade, but you got to get involved, individuals.
You got to.
That's true. Like you said, they need to be at school and they need to be on time. And you know, it's I don't know why is that to me, learning has not been the issue with our children. It's getting them to school.
That's right.
People don't realize that. These kids are smart. But to get them to come to school every day, that has been the biggest issue that I've seen in the system. It's not that they can't read. A lot of them can read. But the ACAP score drops, and people, the first thing they say, oh, the reading scores, or the math scores, or this, or that. But don't you know they ain't been to school? They don't come to school. You can't get them to come to school. You got to make them come to school. And it's making the scores drop in every school. And so, and with the elementary and middle school, and again, we got to remember some of our children's environment is not good. They may not have transportation. And then in some environments, they just allow them to pretty much do what they want to do, or they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So they're not involved.
Pastor Z, you brought up a good point, and Ms. Tiller did. It's very important that we get them there, because those are points that we lose every year. Every school system has a chart that they're given. The one thing that we lose points on is attendance. That's something that we should gain those points on regardless.
Easy.
Because all we're doing, and like at Thompson, we have buses. So we provided a transportation means for our students. But parents, my 5-year-olds can't get themselves up by themselves and get to school. So we're needing the parents to get them up, get them on the bus, so that we can educate them and do what we need to do. But these testing and things that's coming up, it's going to be important that we let the community know, because I don't want in 2025 it becomes a shocker when we having kids to stay back and they say they don't know. So it's important that we get this information out. I will begin with the other principals and getting back with Pastor Z and Bishop T, and see if we can set up a community meeting with Mr. Zachary and inform our people of what is to come. This is one of those meetings we need to be at the venue. We need to have a large crowd so that parents can know what is expected of them over the next few years. And this is not going to go away.
Okay, and so am I hearing am I understanding what I am hearing? When I taught some time ago, it was the high school graduation exam that our kids were having problems with passing. So, am I understanding now that more emphasis is being put on the earlier grades than
Yes.
waiting until the latter, which
Yes.
is which is you're catching in the head. I taught at some point in high school, I taught secondary education. I taught pre-algebra, algebra, and consumer math, I think it was, or basic math or whatever. The problem is I had children who were sitting in middle school or sitting in high school that did not know the basics.
Yes.
It's kind of hard to solve an equation when you don't know simple adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing whole numbers, fractions, and decimals. So it's kind of turned to where the earlier grades, and I think we understand they are the most, especially those first 3 years, are the most impressionable years that there are. So I did not know that the change had come. So basically, there's a grade, third grade for reading, and then you're saying fourth and fifth for
For
math.
math.
Okay. Okay.
So, we do summer camps right now, literacy camp, numeracy camp for students to attend to help with this. But parents, again, will not send them. This year, we will be providing transportation for those parents. So the system is doing as much as they can to get the students there. It's going to take the parents to really get up and push them there and make sure they're there. Our camps only last for the month of June. And so after June, we're finished with camp. We're just asking them to come for 15, 16 days and get this knowledge that they need to be prepared for the next year.
Awesome.
So we will be sending out those flyers for parents to enroll their students in these programs so that we can continue to prepare our kids. They're being held at all of the elementary schools.
Okay.
The literacy camps, Ms. Bosick said, where they're being held at all 8 elementary schools.
Okay.
Thank you all for letting me come on tonight to express that, and we will get back with you because we do want to keep informing our community of what's coming up in our school system. Again,
okay, so you saying that the testing will begin when?
Monday, March the 20th, and it will go to the 24th, which is a Friday. We'll have an early release. That day we'll just use for makeup, but the test will be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
So when is spring break?
The next week, the following week.
Okay.
The following week. So we want to get this testing done before spring
and
break.
Listen, and I know it's getting close to the end of the year, and children get lax. They start missing school even the more, and then you're looking at your spring break coming up the week after this testing. Your children can't afford to miss this test. Please do not go on vacation early. Please.
That's right.
Get your children to school so they can take these tests, man. This is serious.
That's very important that you said that, because a lot of parents will start trying to take them on vacation. We have to have this testing done in a certain time so that the results will be back before we have summer, so we make sure that these students are meeting the criteria. So it's important that they take the test. When we come back after spring break, our other grades will be taking the test, but this grade right here, we have to have those grades back. So it's important. Please don't take your kids on summer break on, say we'll leave Wednesday or Thursday. They need to be at school every day. We'll do reading the first 2 days, and then we'll do math the last 2 days. So please make sure they're there on time, well rested, and prepared.
And I'm gonna make a commitment tomorrow, no later than Monday, to reach out to the elementary schools in my district. I think it's just one. Because if there's something we can do some to help during that testing, that's a good question. I think when we leave today, we probably need to have boots to the ground to see what we can actually do. I know I will, and I see Councilman Smith is on as well. And if we can,
Let's spread the word, y'all. Get on
yeah, and
Facebook.
get the community involved.
Right.
Get the community involved to see what we can do to make sure that we're behind our principals and our children to make sure that this, that we are in a good place this first year, but that we're even in a better place 2025. And this is what we were talking about, Pastor Z, when we were saying proactive. Proactive. We don't need to wait to 2025 to get ready. And I know I've already talked to Principal Smitherman, and she's got some things going. So I will definitely reach out to her and see soon as you meet with the principals, me and Pastor Z will just be waiting to see what we can do, and how fast we can get parents together to make sure that our kids are where they need to be.
And the last 2 months of school are just as important as the first 2 months. So we want to encourage parents to make sure that they finish strong. School does not end May the 1st, May the 21st. We're going to May the 24th. Parents, make sure your kids go to school to May the 24th. Because research says each day they miss, they get so many more days behind. We don't need our students to be behind. We're already off for the summer. We need them to be at school, getting as much as they can, so that the next year they're ready. They are ready for school. Not getting ready, they are ready. And I want to share tonight we had the meeting there what research says about our students. Low socioeconomic kids, kids who do not read, who do not go to the library. It gives us a breakdown on how far behind they are at the beginning of each school year. And we will share that information because once parents know, they will do better. But if they don't know, we can't expect any better. So it's up to us to give parents what they need. We go to the doctor to get this information. I feel like as an educator, I need to get this information to the people, not brown and black, but to the students, parents, so they can help them.
And listen, I am aware, and I want us to know this too. That we have a lot of grandparents that are raising their grandchildren,
Right.
and they're not as fast,
That's right.
as knowledgeable, and don't have the help that they need in order to help these children. So we got to be as you know, who is your neighbor, as the Bible asks.
That's right.
And so we got to do what we can, and if we see where we can be a help, we need to try to be a help in those areas. I plan on probably having a meeting soon, and so hopefully we can get the instructors, as well as some more council men and women together, and our community together as a whole, so we can work on these things and do what we can to make it better. So is that all that you have? Do you have anything else?
My last words for tonight: have your students on time, well rested, and alert and prepared for their test. Thank
Starting
you for this
Monday.
time with you all. Starting Monday, bright and early Monday morning.
This coming Monday.
This coming Monday.
Hey, Miss Maxwell, I'm gonna get with you. I'm gonna make a call to you afterwards.
Okay.
Sometime today or tomorrow.
You're cool.
Yeah.
We'll yeah. All right.
Thank
cool.
you all for this opportunity to
We're
speak.
all cool.
We want to make sure our students and parents are well informed. Thank you.
We holler, First Lady.
Bye. Thank you all. I've been trying to be nice. Good evening.
What's up? All right.
Boy. All right.
You were about to make a cut up.
Yes, you're ready to get started.
You was about to make a cut up.
Now, Miss Tiller, who's the principal at the Emma Sampson High School, she said that the middle school will start testing in the month of April.
Okay.
In the month of April. And she said they test one grade per week that month of April. So I guess like sixth grade, I think it'll start April the 10th. Then the next week, the seventh grade, then next week, the eighth grade, like that. So we thank y'all for this information because this is information we did not have, but we have and you have now. And so we want you to share that. Share that. Oh, we did. I thought I saw Tamara on. I thought we was gonna get an opportunity to get some tea tonight, but she disappeared for some reason. So
Okay.
I guess y'all had to get some water and put a lemon in it.
Boy, you crazy.
Until we can get some tea made. Anything else you need you would like to share, Bishop, before we go?
No, I think we're ready. I think we're ready to help to do what we're gonna be able to do to make this.
Listen, I heard introspection today, and I did hear Mr. Zachary talk about the Juneteenth event that WMGJ is going to be sponsoring, and he said it's going to be very exciting this year. It's going to be a little different than it's been. I think he's going to introduce some gospel and some more things that's going to take place. I think sororities and fraternities, he's asking them to get involved. So Juneteenth, we're looking forward to having a wonderful time with that.
Well,
Patrice said, I forgot report cards went home today.
They sure did. I bet you about her.
If your child didn't bring you a report card, you can go knock on the door now and tell them, that card at dog.
First of all, don't knock on that door.
Oh, that door shouldn't be closed.
You know the door couldn't be closed when you was growing up.
Couldn't be
what
closed.
You closing my door for?
Yeah, open
my door.
Look, George talking about Auburn score 51 hour 39. All right, Alabama won big today.
Alabama won big.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we'll talk about that later.
What you
I wanted to kind of, and I know, the Brandon Miller kid that plays for Alabama, catching a lot of heat behind what took place in that homicide. He wasn't indicted neither charged. I think
it was it his gun or something?
No, it wasn't his gun. The guy called and said he left his gun in his car to bring his gun. So he took the gun to the guy and he went on back to the campus, whatever. So they couldn't charge him with it because he was just giving the man his belongings. But he's an outstanding player. And today, before Alabama took the court, they was constantly talking about what took place. And I know a person's life was lost, but he wasn't the one who pulled the trigger, and he hasn't even been charged with it. Alabama, in a lot of people brackets, has been actually picked to be the national champions. But I say all the time, distractions can stop it. And I think it's going to be a rough road for that young man. I know he didn't have any points in the first half of the game today, and he's the best player on the team. So, the whole thing when you start messing with the mental state, people stand outside with signs and, accusing him of things and that he hasn't done.
See, I didn't know that the guy left the gun in the car and called and told him
That's the only thing that's the only way he got involved in all of it. He brought the gun that the guy said, "Bring me my gun." I left it in your car. He brings it back, gives it to him. He leaves. He goes back to the dorm. Whatever happened at the party. Young lady lose her life. They arrest the basketball player. I think that shot, and another guy that was involved with it. But they brought out a little later about this young man. And so even though he wasn't, he's just a witness, but he's not, they did not indict him on anything, charge him, he's still on the team. But they constantly, they kind of beating that horse. And I know it's
beating the horse.
The media. They before they came out of the to warm up today, I saw it on TV where they was addressing, talking to the coach about it, and that was the whole headliner. Not the fact that Alabama was number one, in basketball and predicted to probably win the national championship in basketball, which I don't think they have ever done, but they have a great chance this year to do so. But I just hope it doesn't mess with him mentally where he can't perform to his best through all of this. So we'll see. But anyway, I really enjoyed all of you. We're going to get this thing figured out with the phone. I may have to go a different route, but we're going to get it figured out where our viewers will be able to call in and share in our conversation. Again, realize it's very important starting Monday that you get your the elementary kids, the ACAPs for the third graders will begin Monday. Very important that you get your children to school and on time. We'll thank Miss Patrice Maxwell, the principal of Thompson Elementary, for being on and sharing. We want to thank Miss Jackie Tiller for all the information she sent. I want to thank all of you all. We're still praying speedy recovery for Miss Epiphany Cherry. Glad to see that she's on today. And we're glad to see each and every one of you joining us on today. We'll be back next Thursday. We still are trying to put in place and get the mayor to join us to share about his first 100 days. We're not sure when we're going to be able to settle him down. He is always on the go. And so possibly we'll be able to get him settled down this coming week or the following week. One of the two, we'll get them.
Definitely have to be, because I think next week we're in Washington. I think that we won't be back by that one. So I'll work at it.
Okay. All right.
We can make it happen.
Okay. And we also, in the very near future, we're going to have my brother who has stepped away from coaching for a minute in basketball. We hope to have him on to see what's next for Coach Reginald Huff. So that's in the near future as well. Okay. If you don't have anything else, Bishop.
I'm done. Thank everybody for being on tonight. Again, I echo your words, Principal Tiller and Principal Maxwell, for the information on tonight. And let's get ready. Let's Real Talk viewers, Real Talk supporters, let's get ready to do what we can. We coming.
All right, let's go.